Hey everybody, it's Paul Dr. Nacho doing best Nacho Risky Business impression, sliding in here to share something with you. So today I'm at Nacho headquarters, which also happens to be my building. So you can parent during a pandemic, work during a pandemic, but tomorrow I'm going to be at my dentisting office. And I have a patient tomorrow that 5 years ago, we put in an implant, a screw retained implant crown. And that implant crown has a complication. What you love to think about, dentists, when things go wrong. What happens when implants fail? Even though implants barely ever fail, we just did a poll today on dental nachos. And we had people saying implants fail where they're required to be removed or fail to integrate like 1 or 2 times out of 100. So like 98 times, it goes great. But dentists love to talk about failure. Why does that happen? Maybe it's dental school. Maybe because we spent 4 years being told a tooth is hopeless. This have failed. You're a failure. Maybe, just maybe, that changed our brain in a bad way. So how can we focus on success? Most of my time, focus on success, focus on positivity. But I am here to talk to you about failure, your favorite topic. Later, the moderator is going to play tennis for the first time. When she hits the ball into the net, what is she going to do? Give up and never play tennis today? Or learn how to deal with that complication. So let me share something with you, a Nacho talking tip you can use, because when implants fail, when anything fails, what do you say? Does it stress you out? Do you worry the patient's going to cry? Do you worry that you're going to cry? You don't have to do any of those things. This is what I say. First, I always focus on the positive. We eat 1,000 meals a year. So let's just say a patient had an implant in number 30 down here, lower right, for 7 years. I'd say, you know what? This lasted 7 years. That's 7,000 meals. You got 7,000 meals out of this implant. That's great. Now it is time. The implant shows signs of advanced bone shrinkage, an infection around the implant. I'm going to get to that in a minute. Now it's time for this implant to be replaced. So instead of fail, say replace. Now, let's just paint this scenario where an implant has a lot of bone loss. We know this as dentists, and it has an infection, and it needs to be removed. Let's say this happens. Even though it barely ever happens, it may happen. It will happen to me in my life with my dental implant cases. I get to work now with an awesome periodontist, an awesome prosthodontist. I placed implants myself. I've had other people place implants. I've had patients come in with implants from outside the office. We'll talk about that in a future one, of how you can really burn your nachos if you start to try to fix a complication from another dental office with an implant. I've burnt my nachos a number of times. I'll share with you on that. If you want to learn more about this topic, just text CHIPS to 215-543-6454, and we'll share how you can learn more about this topic. So first, don't say failure. Say it's time to replace this implant. Then say this: we are going to clean out this area of advanced bone shrinkage. Think of it, here's the magic word, like a little fire. We don't want it to spread to neighboring teeth. That's something. We don't want this thing, the little fire, the infection, to spread to neighboring teeth. That's one of the risks. I've had cases where we have had to plan to remove an implant because we didn't want this bone loss or infection to spread to other implants or other teeth. So that is a great talking tip. Then once we remove this implant, we're going to clean out the area. Everyone likes cleaning. Got to clean your basement sometimes. I had this drawer in my house, which I've never cleaned out. Mrs. Nacho's upset about it. One day I'm going to get to it. 1 year, I'm not sure. You can't do it during a pandemic. I can't plan it during a pandemic. But one day I will clean out my old papers from 10 years ago. So we're going to clean it out. And then just say this: we're going to clean it out and make a plan. Maybe that plan will be to replace the dental implant or put a new one in. Maybe that plan will be to do a bridge, hopefully not a full prep one. I could hear the teeth screaming from here, hopefully some sort of conservative bridge. Maybe that plan will be a removable partial denture. Maybe that plan will be no tooth at all. But you don't have to solve everything in that conversation. Make the patient feel confident. Show empathy. You could say, we had hoped this would last longer, but we're glad it lasts 7 years. Let's make a plan now. Let's make the best decision in the moment. So if you do enough implants, some are going to fail, just a small amount, barely any. But if you do 5,000 implants and 1 or 2 out of 100 fail, you're going to have challenge with this. We're also going to have complications. A screw loosens. We can retorque it. Is that a complication, or are we lucky when that happens? If a person's biting on an implant crown with a lot of, I always say they're a bruxer, they're grinding on an implant crown, the screw loosens. I think it's awesome we can torque that screw, because you know what happens when they grind on the root canal treated tooth? It's a root fracture, and we can't fix that. A screw loosens. Case where the crown comes off the abutment, challenges, contacts opening up. Dealing with complications and maintaining things is a part of life. We maintain our bodies. We maintain our cars. No one would bring a car back to a mechanic 12 years later after using it for every day, a lot of wear and tear, and say, I can't believe I have to replace these lug nuts or tires. So talk to patients like normal people. I'm thrilled to share some of this. If you have any tips, drop them in. Later today, I'm also going to pop back on the Facebook Live to talk about implant failure and complications. If you text CHIPS to 215-543-6454, we'll share some other information with you about implant failure. We have a great fundamentals of implant dentistry course coming up starting on September 24th. You're going to get 5 hours of an implant companion manual, virtual manual, extraction bone grafts, placing implants, restoring implants, patient communication. It's fantastic. We're going to add in 4 hours of live CE on TV. You're going to hear from a prosthodontist. You can tag the awesome Dr. Rob, who places and restores implants from one single tooth to an all-on-4 dentist. You love that name. You love that. You love that title. You say all-on-4 to dentist or ice cream to the moderator, both will come running. He's going to share with you his strategies for that. You're going to hear from a lab technician on how he plans cases with dentists from single teeth to full arch restorations. If you do not communicate well with your lab, you're going to have a problem. You're going to hear from a dentist that does extraction bone grafts, all wrapped around how to talk about money with patients, patient communication, how to restore implants and more. Fundamentals of implant dentistry is going to be fantastic. It's only $197 until September 20th. You can get a $50 discount code. One of the awesome Nacho team members will drop it in here. If you're listening to this, it's 50TT, named in honor of the awesome Tyler Tolbert, called him Tolbert for the past 4 years. Sorry, Tyler. Tyler Tolbert, who's an amazing D4, who inspired me to create this course. He came to Philadelphia to take my first implant, and he asked me, how could I take this experience and make it virtual for a time where dentists need to learn from their couch? So while we cannot get together in person for my first implant, you can learn from your couch in your sweatpants. Those are two things I love: couches and sweatpants. So to learn more about it, just text CHIPS to 215-543-6454. Hope you enjoyed this little pop-up Nacho segment of what to say to patients when implants fail. Things are not hopeless. We should probably stop calling teeth virgins because that's not making anyone feel comfortable. We don't have to say fail. We can say other stuff. Have a great rest of the day, guys.